Hey Victor, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good right now. Thanks for asking.
I'm glad that you came to see me again.
Yeah, I kind of needed it.
I'm gonna do a kind of a therapy session which is based on a Socratic questions.
All right.
So I want you, is there any thought to be specific that's in your mind and sometimes bugging you or like give you concern or stress?
Well, from my past, when I was a child, I mean, not really a child, I was like around 15, 16, 17 ish. I was in the relationship and she dumped me and she kind of broke my heart.
Mhm.
And I'm kind of scared of like trusting somebody again and that can happen again in the future.
So I would say that there's some kind of trust issues and maybe insecurities about relationships.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's correct.
Is there evidence for this thought to happen? Do you have any evidence, solid
Well,
evidence?
from my past, and then I tried to have more different relationships with different people, and it never got to the level that, all right, I really trust you, and I can tell you everything, But it's only because I feel like if I give them too much trust, they might take advantage of it and broke my heart again. So that's the main issue
So
or the main scare.
you are worried that sometimes people take advantage of you and then that can lead to a break,
Yeah.
like breaking your heart, basically.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Is, is there maybe evidence that your thoughts are irrational, like evidence against that thought of yours? Like, for
Um.
example, to help you out understand more, is there something, like, do you have maybe friends that cares about you and never like let you down?
Yeah. Of course, my friends are first. So they always give me advices and stuff like that. And pretty much in the past, my good friends they will telling me like, Victor, listen, this is happening. Don't give too
Mhm.
much trust to this person that maybe she doesn't uh, really wanted to be with you. She just
Okay.
wants something out of you, you know?
Okay. So, are you basing like this specific thought about trusting someone else on? Do you think it's based on facts or just your emotional and feelings?
Just my emotions, my feelings. Like
Okay.
I sometimes I feel like this gut feeling that's telling me like something is wrong.
Okay.
Sometimes when you're doing something and you're like something's off, but you're not sure if it's actually off or not, but you kind of have the feeling, and then
That's true.
later on, it actually happened. And you're like, oh man, I was right.
Hmm. Okay. Is this, do you think there's like the whole thought maybe it's more than just black and white and right and wrong? Do you think it's just a little bit more complicated?
I mean, with emotions, I guess it's really complicated because it's never a good answer or a bad answer or a good situation or a bad situation. It's just whatever you feel at that time, and you can't tell if it's right or wrong.
That's true.
You're
That's
just
true.
following your emotions and your feelings at that point.
So you think that sometimes when you follow your emotions, you could be wrong and you could be right. Am I
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's correct.
Do you also think that sometimes you would misinterpret the situation or the evidence you have about certain situation? Or like, let's say, do you make assumption? Like, for example, you mentioned about a girl or let's say even a
Hmm.
friend. Do you sometimes make wrong or false assumption about the mistrusting them?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because what happened in my past, I always have that in mind. And if something, or I feel like, or I see something, and I can think like, all right, that's not right, or you're doing something wrong. But then the person is telling me like, no, is like they're not doing anything wrong. It's just me. But
Mhm.
because my past, I always think like, no, something is wrong. You know.
So your previous experience and your like past sometimes led you to have this trust issues, you would say?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Do you think other people, like your friends or like maybe even family, have like see your situation in different, like would they consider this mistrust an issue?
Uh, I will say my friends, two of my best friends, yeah, they kind of see that on me sometimes, and they kind of tell me. But as I said, feelings are just weird. You're never right. You're never wrong.
Mhm. Also, do you think that you're looking at the whole picture or like of the situation, or you just like considering only your thoughts? Like,
So I will say when something happened, I will just listen to my thoughts, and I don't look like really like the big picture. But then, giving it some time, I'm like, all right, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I misjudged you or something like that. But first, yeah, I don't look at the bigger picture.
so if I'm clear, you also know that sometimes you can be wrong about the situation. That's
Yeah,
correct?
definitely.
Mhm. So also, like, could your thoughts be like maybe an exaggeration of what's true or what's real?
Yeah, sometimes I just get too into it, and like my past comes to me, and I just don't listen to anybody. I'm just listening to me and what I'm saying, and I what I'm saying is right, but maybe what I'm saying is not right. But yeah, at that point, I'm just like, no, I'm right. You know.
Mhm, mhm. All right. Do you think this specific thought has been passed by specific someone or like somebody give you this thought from the start and develop with time?
I will say because, as you say, it's a trust issue. If somebody
Mhm.
tells me like, "Look, she's doing that or he's doing that behind your back," I just like start thinking about it. And maybe I never thought about it before, but when somebody tells me that, I start thinking about it, and like I'm like, "Oh, maybe."
Well, I have to say that having trust issues sometimes can be difficult, and
Yeah.
I thank you for being open with me. Moving forward, do you think this specific thought or like the trust issue, do you think when you think about it or like consider it, would you think of it as a something likely to happen or something like a worst case scenario or likely scenario? Which one does come to your mind?
I will say something that it might be likely to happen,
Hmm.
or sometimes the worst case scenario will be that, but most likely is something that is gonna keep happening.
All right, I see. Um, well, I'm sensing that sometimes you feel a bit like anxious from this issue, and
Yeah.
yeah, and that's completely normal. But then it's important that you know that, like you said, that sometimes you could be wrong,
Hmm.
sometimes you could be right. Well, it sounds to me that you understand your situation and you understand the whole, like you're trying to look at the bigger picture of the
Hmm.
problem, and that's excellent. That's good. Well, it's true that trust issues can be a problem, but then it's also good that you know that maybe because it's coming from your own feelings, it could be you could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why sometimes I just try to take some time and like try to think about what's happening.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
my first reaction would be just like, no, I'm right, as I said before. But then I just try to calm myself down a little bit. But I just wanna try to learn how to control that. from the beginning instead of just getting so hesitant on something, be able to control myself and look at the bigger picture at the beginning, not at the
Mm.
end.
That's very good. That's very good that you understand the bigger picture, like you mentioned.
Hmm.
Okay, Victor. Thank you so much for this session. I hope I helped as much as I can, and I hope I will see you again later time. Okay.
Thanks a lot.
All right.